Good evening and welcome to all the participants joined in the daily virtual program on work-life balance conducted by Professional Skills Enrichment Committee of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India in association with Heartfulness. We have with us today's resource person Mr. Sulabh Misra sir and our expert Mr. Deepak Khanduri sir from Heartfulness. We welcome you both in this platform. With this, I am introducing our today's resource person Mr. Sulabh Misra sir. He has been a dedicated heartfulness meditation trainer since 2010 and has been practicing meditation since 1999. His deep commitment to heartfulness and personal development is reflected in his entrepreneurial endeavor and professional achievements. He is the founder and chairman of several paramedical institutes. He is also running Brighter Minds, a cognitive development program designed for children and seniors since 2017. In his role as a cognitive coach, he addresses a significant gap in the academic field by incorporating tools and exercises that promote social, emotional, and ethical learning, alongside training the heart to harness intuitions. Before embarking on his entrepreneurial journey, he gained extensive experience in the IT sector, where he managed IT projects for healthcare clients. His diverse background and holistic approach to cognitive and emotional development makes him a distinguished leader in his field. With this brief introduction, I am handing over the session to Sulabh Misra sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Welcome everyone for today's session. Today's session is going to be on the science of communication, how we can connect with others to communicate effectively. And in doing so, we will learn how meditation facilitates effective communication, a more heartful approach to communication, as you will see in the presentation, will help you connect deeply with others. And when we connect with others, we can expect better communication. So this is the theme of the presentation for today. We will meditate as usual. Towards the end of the session, we will take question answers after the meditation is over. But before we begin, let's connect ourselves, let's center ourselves. So please join me in closing our eyes. Focus on your heart. Connect with your heart. All through the session, we will try to stay connected with this heart. Allow yourself to be guided by heart. As you are connected with your heart, all the resources of your heart is now available to you. Love, compassion, peace, they're all available to you now. Stay connected with your heart for some time. Okay, let's begin our session. So before we can understand how communication happens, Let us see what is going on inside our brain, the flow of the messages that we are receiving, or whatever we are hearing, how our brain is processing it. I'm going to use a neurosequential model of Dr. Bruce Perry to simplify how our brain works. So, according to this model, and actually, our brain works sequentially. So, if you are trying to appeal to someone's smart part of the brain, it's not that it is going, this communication will happen smart brain to smart brain. It doesn't work that way. When somebody communicates to us or a situation arises around us, we get some inputs. Now, this input can come in two ways. One input is coming from our inside world, that's called somatic input, how we are perceiving things around us, how we are feeling, physical sensations. So, all these things, research have shown that our heart is able to perceive it before our brain does. Okay, that's why this whole model, you have to look at the heart from where this is all happening. Okay, and again, the outside world sensory input is coming from the outside world. So our senses are engaging with the world outside and they are perceiving, understanding the world outside. And this information is also related to our brain. But first, this information is received by the most primitive part of our brain, which is known as brain stem. Now, this brain stem is so primitive that millions and millions of years ago, when brain started forming, its primary function was just respiration, maintain the temperature, maintain the cardiac activity. So, scientists, science tells us, the evolutionary biology tells us that this primitive brain started forming around 400 million years ago. Okay, as we evolved further, around 40 million years ago, our emotional brain started developing. So now this is known as limbic brain. This is the part of the brain which processes the reward, which will process your memory, it stores your memory, it forms bonding. This is where most of the emotions are processed. Okay, so if you are receiving any input, first it goes to brainstem, then it moves to emotional brain or the limbic brain, and then only it will go to the smart brain. Okay, so smart brain is where you process your creativity, you do your thinking, language is processed, you understand values, you understand time. Okay, so all these things are happening in the smart part of the brain. This part of the brain just developed 4 million years ago. Emotional brain developed 40 million years ago. Smart brain developed around 4 million years ago. Okay, so this sequence we have to remember when we are talking about how we communicate. So let's see what happens when our state changes. Which part of the brain is available to us? Okay, so this is your calm mind. You're very calm. So at this time, brainstem doesn't have much to do. So only 10% of it is being utilized. Emotional brain is fully available to you. You're uh, reasonably well processing your emotions, your memory. You can memorize things easily. Everything is working very nicely because you're well regulated. You're calm. So 90% is available to you. And smart brain is also fully available to you. It's 85%. Okay. So now let's see what happens when something happens, which makes you just alert. For example, if I were to bang here, there will be a certain noise, right? Now, you know that I have already told you that there is going to be some noise, but still you will become alert, because it could also happen that a fan may be falling and it can make a noise. So that will be a very fearful state for you. But if you are prone to situations where you get very easily triggered, you get stressed out very easily, you are prone to situations where you get into anxiety very easily, or you had traumas in the past which associate banging with lot of discomfort. Okay. So if I do some banging here, it will trigger your past trauma event and it can dysregulate you. Okay. And in that state, brainstem will be very active because it will start scanning the environment to figure out, is it really unsafe? And your emotional brain, most of it, most of the work will now be done by one a nerve, which a piece of small piece of brain, which is in the shape of almond. It is known as amygdala. This is your threat response system. So it has to be very active to ensure that you are safe. Okay. So in this situation, it is not going to let most of your flow go to your smart part of the brain. Okay. So your creativity will diminish. So that is why only 10% is allocated when you are in state of turbulence. You are dysregulated. Now let's see what happens when we are highly dysregulated. We are very fearful. Some event has occurred which you do not had you did not want it to happen. Right? In this situation, again, your brain stem is highly active because through this you have to pass the information to your body that you have to fight or you have to flight. So not much is happening in the emotional part of the brain. Only amygdala is working profusely to ensure that your threat response system is uh, drawing all the necessary resources and allocating it wherever it is necessary to make sure you are safe. Now, when you are in a life-threatening situation, there's not much to do in terms of decision making. Okay, if a snake comes in our room, we are not going to try to think of, let's come up with a creative way to save our life today, isn't it? We're not going to do that. We will just want to run away. So smart brain is not working in this situation. It's only available to us for 5%. So let's see what happens when we communicate with this background of what is happening in the brain. Okay. So let's say there are two people, person one and person two. Person two is, let's say, a child, and you are person one. Okay. And in your smart brain, you want to teach your child maths today. Okay. Now, with your smart brain, you thought with all the right intentions, you wanted to teach maths. So you thought about it, but something happened and it triggered you, it disturbed your emotional state. Now you are a little upset, or maybe you are angry, or you, whatever is the reason, your emotional state is disturbed. It is no longer balanced. Okay. So what will happen is, from your smart brain, this flow is coming down sequentially. It comes to your emotional state, emotional brain. It is laced with this new emotions that you are feeling. And then from there, it goes to brain stem. From your brain stem, it is connected to your all your senses. Okay. So what is happening now? Even though you want to communicate, let's study maths, but your facial expression has changed. You are little stern, or maybe you are a little upset. And the science of communication tells us that whatever we want to convey, 55% of it is conveyed through our facial expression. 38% is conveyed through our tone of voice, and only 7% through words. Okay, so your facial expression, your tone of voice is all telling that you are upset. And child is very quick to pick this up. So as their brain stem receive this information through the facial expression, through your tone of voice, their brain circuitry tells the emotional brain that something is wrong. Maybe I may get beaten up today. Maybe something wrong is going to happen. So child starts thinking why dad is behaving like that, or why mom is behaving like this, why she's talking to me like this. She was speaking so nicely just a moment ago. Why she's talking like that? So you are saying maths, 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 whereas child is thinking why she's speaking in this tone, why is her face look so angry. So he's not even thinking about maths. He is just stuck in his emotional part of the brain. Now, if he's not able to engage his smart brain, or if you are not able to activate his smart brain, how will the learning happen? Right? So, if this communication has to happen, both the parties should be calm, both the parties should be regulated. Unless this happens, it's very difficult to communicate with each other. Okay, we see this even in the corporate life. A leader is stressed out because he knows a lot of things which is happening in the business, but he doesn't have to tell it to their teammates. And team members, they are seeing the boss is stressed out with the tone of the voice, with the facial expression, and they are also getting stressed out. So when both the party is dysregulated, they are not able to utilize their smart brain. So how will effective decisions be made in this situation? So what we need to understand is, if we have to communicate effectively, first of all, we need to self-regulate. Okay. Because unless and until I am not regulated, I am not calm and peaceful, my state can affect the other party. I will tell you a very interesting research done on this aspect. Italian scientist was working on a monkey, and accidentally he found out that when he was eating something, this monkey had one part of the neurons firing. So he was eating, but the monkey is firing, something very unusual. That's when they realized that there is something called mirror neurons present in these monkeys. So interest increased. It was researched on human brain also, and it was found that we humans have a lot more sophisticated mirror neurons in our brain. And what this mirror neuron does, it will mirror your state. So if I will yawn right now, many of you will also yawn instinctively seeing me. That's the mirror neuron effect. If you are upset, and if you go and sit with few of your friends who are joking around, having a fun time, laughing, you will end up smiling, cheering up a little. So their mirror neurons have affected you, and now your state has changed. But if you are a cheerful person, but if you go to a place where people are all morose, they are mourning, something like that is happening, their mirror neurons is again going to affect you, because there are several people there. They have a stronger field. So their mirror neurons will affect your mirror neurons. If they are stressful and their brain is releasing cortisol, this stress hormone, even if you don't want, your body will also start releasing these stress hormones. So it's very important that when we approach our children, even though we may not want to tell all the worldly worries that we are facing, we are having, if we are stressed, we are releasing these stress hormones in our body. And if we sit near our children, their mirror neurons will communicate with our mirror neurons, and their body will also start releasing these stress hormones. They might be playing, but their body is releasing these stress hormones. So it's very important. It's crucial that we self-regulate ourselves, calm down ourselves before we interact, communicate with others. Okay, then we can help others to regulate. Children may not know how to regulate themselves. So there are various strategies. We are going to talk very quickly what are these different strategies we can use to regulate ourselves and regulate these children. And then have the intention to connect. You should have this intention as well. Just having regulated state is not enough. Intention is also required, that you want to connect with their heart first. It's not like it should not be a transaction approach that I have to communicate something and get something done according to what I am thinking. Okay, I want my child to study, so I will communicate effectively by regulating them, by self-regulating myself. No, it doesn't work that way. If we connect with our child first, then there is a chance that children may listen to us. There is a chance. We are not guaranteeing that it will happen. But if we do not even connect with them, if we just communicate as a transaction, then it's very difficult that if they will even listen to what we had to say. And there is a very beautiful program by Heartfulness. It's called Heartful Communication. It's a free program available in our learning portal. There are several videos available on YouTube also. If you search Heartful Communication, you will come across several videos which give you reasonable depth of heartful communication. I'm not going to cover this here because it's a lengthy topic and it's covered by trained professionals. So you highly encouraged to go through this program, because when you are meditating, this program gives you a tool to apply your meditation in your daily life. Okay. So let's understand how we can self-regulate, how we can help others to regulate, and how we can connect ourselves with others. So for self-regulation, we can use all the heartfulness techniques that we have learned so far. We began with centering ourselves. That's one way to connect with ourselves. So we are connecting with our higher self, so to speak. When we center ourselves, we are connecting with our heart. We can adjust our emotional state by recalling the meditative state that we had gained during the meditation. So you may be slightly disturbed right now. You had meditated in the morning, you had a very nice condition, but things happened. And now you no longer have this meditative condition with you. So all you have to do is just recall it. And in this act of recalling your morning meditative condition, you will regain it. But if the condition has deteriorated or spoiled so much that you're not able to recall it and you're not able to regain it again, that's when you can do spot cleaning. We have told you how to do cleaning in the evening, but if you don't have enough time, and obviously if in the workplace, we will not have enough time to sit down and start cleaning. right? So do a 1 minute spot cleaning. Just condense the whole practice in 1 minute or 30 seconds. Do your cleaning before you start your communication. Okay. And then if we want to communicate with others, heartfulness relaxation also calms us down, relaxes us. You can do it with others also. Together you can do so. You are also regulating yourself at the same time. The person with who you want to communicate, they will also get relaxed. So that's is all about self-regulation. When you want to help others to regulate, suppose the other person is a child, they cannot meditate. So there are several rhythmic activities that children can do to regulate themselves. Why I'm talking about rhythmic activity? We have to again understand another aspect of our brain, the way the brain has evolved in our mother's womb. See, in 9 months of our stay in our mother's womb, we never felt thirsty, we never felt hungry, we had never temperature variation. Okay, so we are completely safe for these 9 months. And in these 9 months, our foundational brain was developing, our foundational uh, neural pathways were forming in the brain. So, what was happening at the same time when we were all this safe and secure? We were also listening to the heartbeat of our mother. Okay, it was very rhythmic, dub dub, dub dub, dub dub. So this rhythmic heartbeat was getting associated with this uh, safety situation that we had. The blood was flowing in our mother's vein. That was also creating some sort of vibration. So that also got associated with the sense of safety. The breathing pattern of our mother was more or less regulated. If the mother was in a calm state, she was joyful, the breathing will be normal, regulated. So we can use these rhythmic activities, whatever activities that brings rhythm. Science have seen that these rhythmic activities calms us down. Okay, so you can do some breathing exercises like anulom vilom, help your child do that, do it. Left nostril breathing, left nostril is connected with our parasympathetic nervous system, which is rest and digest system. It will activate their rest response. So that's a very effective one. Brahmri, where you make a sound like mm. So if you do this Brahmri, where you breathe in and while you are breathing out, you make a sound of humming bee. Mm, something like that. Okay. So do it for a few minutes and you will see you will have calmed down. Anulom Vilom is where you uh, close your right nostril, breathe out, and then breathe in. And as you breathe in, you close your left nostril and breathe out from the right nostril. Then again breathe in from your right nostril and breathe out from your left nostril. So we keep repeating. First breathe out, then breathe in from the same nostril, and then change the nostril, breathe out, breathe in. So this is known as Anulom Vilom. Remember to take more time to breathe out. When we take more time to breathe out, we also activate our rest and digest nervous system. Okay, so brain exercises, walking, all these things are rhythmic activities. So we can do these things to regulate ourselves, calm ourselves. Sometimes, if you have read the autobiography of Steve Jobs, before meetings or before making important decisions, he used to go for a long walk. So it was precisely to calm down, to bring your mental state to a calm state. Okay. So we can also make some prayerful suggestions, positive silent suggestions to prayerfully uh, request the universe to help this other person also calm down. Okay. Now, finally, when we want to have this intention to connect, we have to make sure this other person feels safe. Empathize with them. Whatever they are saying, you paraphrase, tell them this is what you are understanding, what they're feeling like. Do not discard their feelings. So there are several things we can do to connect. So things like when we are communicating, if something triggers you, choose to take a pause rather than reacting. So all these things will help you connect with this other person. We do not use any kind of circuit breakers. Circuit meaning we want to connect. There is a circuit between two of us. The person is trying to tell you something and you are telling your own story, or you are starting to give your own suggestions. So these are like circuit breakers. The person is not able to express himself or herself fully. You have broken this connection. So avoid doing that. Let the other person speak fully. So that's where this connection happens. Okay. So finally, to conclude, we bring all of this together. We self-regulate by deepening our awareness of our own condition. We connect with our heart. We recall the meditative state. We do heartfulness spot cleaning. We can do heartfulness relaxation. We help others if the other person is a child, deep breathing exercise, brain exercise, or we can all do all these things. If we are all adults, we can all do these things, but especially I'm taking the example of a child. For them, these things will be very easy. Heartfulness relaxation, deep breathing exercise, brain exercise, walking, eyeball exercise. So many exercises are there which regulate children. Then connecting with them, listen to make them feel, empathize with them, stay connected with our heart, our inner guide. Okay. And finally, when all this has happened, you can reason with them. So problem solve with logic and reason, but never start here. So this is the approach we have to offer for communicating with others. As you can see, meditative practices play a very important role for effective communication. So let's uh, do some of these practices as we do every day. So first, I will give you certain commands to uh, unwind yourself, to clean all the impressions, all the impurities that may have formed in your system throughout the day. So we'll do this heartfulness cleaning. So let's prepare ourselves for heartfulness cleaning now. So please close your eyes very gently. Make a suggestion and join your willpower with that suggestion. And this suggestion should be made with a lot of faith that it is really happening. The suggestion is that all the complexities, impurities formed during the day today is melting and going back. And from my back, it is going out in the form of smoke or vapor. I repeat, with your closed eyes, give a suggestion to yourself that all the impurities, all the complexities, all the impressions formed on your system during the day are all melting and they are going towards your back. And from the back, they are getting ejected out in the form of smoke. Keep your focus on your back and use your willpower to maintain the focus there. This is going to be a very active process. So you will have to concentrate, you will have to use your willpower. Since we are using our thought power to do the work on ourselves, we should also unite our willpower with our suggestion. And to make it effective, we should believe that yes, it is happening. The smoke is going out from the back of your head, from the back of your neck, from the back of your shoulders, from your upper back, from your middle back, from your lower back, all the way to the tailbone. Do not think about all those things that you want to get rid of. We simply brush off everything that has accumulated during the day. If you are able to do it, please accelerate this whole process. This, all the complexities and impurities are melting from your system and going out from your back. This whole process is happening very fast now. Keep accelerating this whole process. What is leaving you in the from your back, from the back of your head, back of your neck, back of your shoulders, from upper back, middle back, lower back. If other thoughts try to distract you, you find yourself distracted, then bring your attention back to the work you're doing and continue cleaning. Gently taper off this cleaning process now. We are now going to start with the second step of this process. Now make a suggestion that a secret current or a divine current is coming from above, and it is entering your heart from the front, and it is pushing out any residual remaining impurities from your heart. They're all leaving it from your back in the form of smoke or vapor. Your heart is now being filled up with this secret current. As the impurities go, you are becoming purer. Believe in this. As the complexities are going out, you are becoming simpler. As the heaviness is going out, grossness is growing out, you are becoming lighter, more subtler. Imagine this sacred current spreading in your entire system. It is reaching all the corners of your body and is purifying each and every cell of your body. Imagine each and every cell becoming saturated with this sacred current. Your entire being is becoming pure and sacred. We will conclude this cleaning with a final suggestion that yes, I am now clean. I have successfully completed my cleaning. You should do this cleaning as long as you begin to feel lighter. Generally, it is recommended to do 20 to 30 minutes in the evening before we have our dinner. Now let us meditate. So gently bring your focus on your heart. Now meditation is going to be a very passive activity. Here we are not going to use our willpower. We will bring our focus on the idea that a source of divine light is already present in my heart. We will meditate on this idea. We will anchor our mind on this idea that there is presence of source of divine light in my heart. It is pulling my attention within. If other thoughts come, simply ignore them. Treat them as uninvited guests. They will go away. Don't fight with them, otherwise they will draw attention. They will draw power from your attention and become stronger. If you find at some point drifted away, simply remind yourself that I'm meditating. It could happen that in between two thoughts, There could be a moment of thoughtlessness, and you may slip into your deeper awareness, into a deeper state. That is totally fine. Let yourself slip into this deep state of meditation. It will feel like you slept off, but that is a deep meditation. Please continue to meditate like this till I say that's all. That's all. Please stay as you are. Do not make any sudden movement. Keep your eyes closed. Now, this is the time to concentrate on your condition. See how you are feeling right now. Is there a shift from thinking to feeling? Try to identify what you are feeling right now. What is your internal state? Is it a state of relaxation? Is it a state of lightness, peacefulness? What is it? Identify your internal state. Relish it. Imagine this condition is expanding within you, is saturating each and every cell. Imagine you are radiating this condition, and everyone in your home, in your community, in your neighborhood is getting affected by it. Those who will come near you will be able to perceive this condition in you. You may gently open your eyes if you feel like. Seems there are a few questions. The question is, how can heartfulness communication be applied in a workplace setting to foster collaboration and a positive environment? It will be best done if a workplace undergoes our program, Heartful Communication. If both the parties know, if I have to communicate with you and you also know Heartful Communication, there will be a better communication. Okay, but the situation is that you know heartfelt communication, you want to communicate with this other person. So, how will you do in that case? Isn't it? So, some of the basics that I tried to cover in this presentation was that unless and until you are calm, unless and until you are relaxed, your internal state is going to affect others. So if you are peaceful, that state of peacefulness affects the other person with whom you are interacting. I today I started reading a book, Expectation Effect. So this book is a compilation of several studies that have been done on the ability of mind to affect the outcome based on what we are thinking, what is our expectation. So before, just as we concluded our meditation, we made this expectation that my condition is affecting my family members as well. Just as we make this expectation, somehow our brain will work, our mind will work in such a way that it will ensure that your condition is strengthened, and it will also affect people who are living in your family, and they will also be benefiting from your condition. So it's an interesting read. I have just started, so I don't know much what all the details are there, but the topic itself is very exciting, that if you have a positive expectation, you can affect the outcome from others as well as from within yourself also. Okay, so more specifically in the workplace, if you are going for a meeting with someone, you can prepare yourself by doing these three things. Number one, you can do your heartfulness relaxation, relax yourself because this is in your hand. If the other person wants to do, well and good, you can do it together. If not, at least you do your heartful relaxation. Second, do your since you have done your morning meditation, you had your morning meditative condition, recall it, strengthen it, make sure you go in the meeting with this morning meditative condition. Okay, you are connected with your morning meditative condition. So ensure that you are connected with that. Third, connect with your heart. Your heart is representing your higher self. Okay, your better version, right? You know you are better than your, you can be better than what you are currently. We all know we can, we are all compassionate, but we can be more compassionate, isn't it? We are, we empathize with others, but we can even do better job in empathizing with others, isn't it? We are peaceful person, but we can be more peaceful. So all these things are representing our higher self, our better version. To connect with that, because your heart already has this better version of you. It is just waiting to be manifested. So we connect with our heart. So in the beginning, what we did was centering ourselves, connecting with our heart. You can do that also. We didn't take much time, right? When we connected with ourselves, so we can do that. Then, if all of this is not working, then bring out your master weapon. Do your cleaning. Because this cleaning will be required if you are already very disturbed, right? You are already stressed out, already panicky. Do your spot cleaning because you don't have time to do thorough cleaning. So do it for 30 seconds, 1 minute. You will see a shift in your condition, and with this changed condition, better condition, you go and communicate with your peers, with your boss, with your juniors, whoever you want to communicate. Okay, so next question, how does heartfulness communication helps in resolving conflicts with empathy and understanding? Very interesting topic. Again, I will again recommend that please go through Heartfulness learning portal, learning.heartfulness.org. There is a free learning program on heartful communication. If you want in person this program to be delivered, contact us. We will deliver this program for your workplace. Again, this is all free of cost. We will our trained facilitators will come and deliver heartful communication for your organization. We specifically handle these topics like resolving conflicts. Heartful communication is based on a very popular book known as Non-Violent Communication. So this book, Non-Violent Communication, is written by Marshall Rosenberg. He was brought into places where there were conflict between two nations or two communities, and he would go in these situations where conflict was of uh, such a high stature that killing was involved. People were killing each other. They were not ready to even listen. And using his technique, he was able to bring people to listen to each other. And everything began with connection. So this whole book emphasizes that first you need to connect with others, and then problem can be solved, conflicts can be resolved. So how all of this is done, we have introduced the elements of heartfulness practices, made it more dynamic, and that's why we call it heartful communication. It's entirely based on this book, but the elements of heartfulness practices makes it more dynamic and practically usable. So you will have very ready to use scripts and techniques you're all learning anyways in these programs. So use this. So with that, we reach the end of our session. I hope I have answered all the questions to your satisfaction. Thank you very much for your time today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for delivering this wonderful session and making this session very interesting. And also thanks to all the participants who have joined this session. With this, we are concluding this session. Thank you all.